It's summertime and I think it's time for ice cream. Hi everyone, I'm Rockin' Robin and today I'm going to show you how to make my homemade banana ice cream. Now if you haven't had banana ice cream before, you're going to be in for a little treat, I think. It's creamy and delicious, and if you use really nice ripe bananas, it's going to be just have a fantastic flavor. So I'm going to tell you how to do it in just a minute. So before I go over the ingredients for you on this recipe, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of equipment pieces that you're going to need to have to make this. Alright, first of all, you're going to need an ice cream maker. Now I've got a Cuisinart 2-quart ice cream maker here. These things are great to have. You got an insert like this. Mine is frozen because I just took it out of the freezer. So you need one of those, and we're going to need a candy thermometer. So I want you to get one of these. These are always come in handy when you want to check out the temperature of your cooking of custard or whatever you're making that you need to monitor. Alright, so we're also going to need now for our ingredients some bananas. Now notice my bananas are nice and brown. That's what we want them to look like because these are going to have the most flavor. They're going to be sweeter and they're going to have more banana flavor. So if you've got any leftover bananas, this is a great thing to use them for. Alright, we'll also need some sugar. I've got some salt here. We're going to use a pinch of salt, some vanilla extract. Here I've got 3 egg yolks that I've already separated from the whites, and I'm saving those for like scrambled eggs for the next day. The last thing we'll need here is some cream. Now we've got some organic heavy whipping cream here and some half and half. I want to mention to read your labels on these because you'd be surprised what you'll find inside heavy whipping cream. This one has just cream, and that's, in my opinion, that's all it should have. Same thing with the half and half, but read your labels. Alright, we'll move on to cooking our custard next. So we're going to start off with making our custard. Alright, so we got a saucepan here. I'm going to pour in my half and half, and I'm going to put the temperature on medium. Okay, and this is where our candy thermometer is going to come in handy. We're going to use that too. Here we've got our sugar, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Stir it around. Add a pinch of salt. And we're just going to monitor this with our candy thermometer. So every so often I'm just going to stick it in the middle. I'm going to keep it, I don't want it to touch the bottom of the pan, so you're going to elevate it a little bit. And we're just going to watch the thermometer, and when we get it up to 175, we're going to turn it off. So while we're waiting for this to come up to temperature, I just wanted to mention you don't want this to boil. That's why we're monitoring it to 175. And then what we're going to do is we're going to temper the eggs. And by that, I'm going to be pouring a little bit of this mixture into the eggs and bringing their temperature up gradually so they don't scramble. So just keep stirring and then monitor your temperature. Alright, so we're up to 175. I'm going to turn off the heat. Now we're going to temper the eggs. So I'm going to take my whisk. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break up the yolks. Alright, so now we're going to go back. I'm going to bring the pan over, and I'm going to pour just a little bit in while I whisk. Okay, whisk constantly here. Now this brings the temperature up of the eggs gradually so they don't scramble. If I was just to pour these eggs into the hot mixture, they would just scramble. So I'm going to pour about a cup's worth maybe. It's an estimate. And now I'm going to take this egg mixture back and I'm going to pour it back into the pan. So now I'm going to whisk constantly and slowly pour this into the pan. Now we're going to put the temperature back on to low, and I'm going to watch the temperature. Now we want to get this up to about 170. And we'll monitor that. That way this will cook the eggs completely. So we have the temperature back up to 170, so I'm going to turn it off. And I have over here set up a nice big bowl with ice and water. So I'm going to cool this down, and this will cool it down pretty rapidly. And I'll stir it occasionally while it's cooling to get the temperature down. Alright, so now we're ready to start mashing our bananas. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the bananas and place them in the bowl. And you want about 2 cups of mashed bananas. You know, when I was a kid, growing up, my dad had a restaurant in Berkeley, California, and right down the street there was an ice cream parlor named Swenson's. And every day after lunch we'd do our lunch business, and then I would go get us ice cream. And guess what flavor we got every day? Banana. I was so into banana. So this is pretty special for me. This is sort of like taking me back to my childhood. All right, so now we're going to mash our bananas really, really well. My sons like it where they don't have chunks of bananas, but if you like chunks of bananas, you can leave it more intact if you want to, but I've really got it into a liquid here. All right, so now what we're going to do is go back to our custard, which has cooled off in our ice bath, and we're going to add the whipping cream to this. I'm going to stir it in, mix that nice, and add the vanilla extract. And now I'm going to use a strainer to pour this through, just in case there were any little lumps in my egg mixture. And there doesn't seem to be too much, just a little bit. Now at this point, what we're going to do is stir this up. I'm going to combine this up, and then we're going to refrigerate it. But before I pour it into the ice cream maker, I'm going to actually take the hand mixer, and I'm going to beat this up so that the banana is sort of suspended throughout the whole mixture. It tends to want to settle because it's heavier than the heavy cream, and that way you don't get the clumps and the lumps in there. All right, so I'll just cover this, and we're going to have to refrigerate it for about 2 hours until it's nice and cold before we can put it in our ice cream maker. The ice cream mixture has been in the refrigerator for about the past 2 hours, so it's pretty cold. You want to make sure it's nice and cold before we do this. And I had covered it with some saran wrap here, and I laid the saran wrap on top of it just to keep the air away from the bananas so that they wouldn't oxidize. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the beaters here, and I'm just going to mix this up just a little bit to make sure that the banana is thoroughly mixed. All right, I did that on low. I didn't want to whip the whipping cream or anything like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour it in the ice cream maker. All right, so I put my insert that's frozen back in the machine. You put this piece in, and now we're just going to pour this in. Now all we have to do is get the lid on and turn it on, and this will mix for about 25 minutes, and then it'll be a nice soft serve, and I'll show you what it looks like then. Our ice cream is done. I want you to see this. It's nice and soft serve right now. So we got to take this piece out. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so nice and creamy. And of course, after we put it in the freezer, it will firm up just like regular ice cream. But right now, if you like soft serve, boy, this is the time to dig in. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put it in I like to use glass containers. So I have these right here with lids, and then I'll just fill those up and put it in the freezer, and it's ready anytime I am. But I think what I'm going to do is serve up just a little bit for me in this little cup here. So much fun to make ice cream, it really is, and this stuff is really as healthy as ice cream can get. So we'll just do that, put a lid on it, and it'll be good to go. All right, let me give this a taste. Oh boy, that is so good, I can't tell you. Brings back memories for me. So guys, I hope you'll try this recipe. If you like bananas, I think you're really going to enjoy this banana ice cream. All right, well, thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment below, and let me know if you have any other recipes you'd like to see me make. All right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Hi everyone, I'm Rockin' Robin, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make chocolate ice cream fudgesicles. Now, this is a non-dairy dessert, and we're going